What's up, y'all? Welcome to L.U.S.T. Let Us Speak Truth, episode 19. I am your host, Nick. I have Tony B here as a co-host, and today's topic is going to be getting in the minds of a DJ. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Tony B.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Tony B in the house here, man. Look, I got some people on here, personal friends of mine. Then a partner I just met here recently, DJ Greg. But all these cats right here, I know personally to some certain extent. So what I want to do is just kind of go through everybody, have everybody introduce themselves and how long they've been DJing, how long they've been doing their thing. So Mike, we're gonna start off with you, DJ Mike. How long you been DJing, man? And you know, just give a little introduction about yourself.
Well, let me say, man, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate y'all having me as well. So I've been doing this thing, man. I say since 1993 because that's when the passion started, 93. And I also got my first belt-driven turntable in 93. So I say 93. So you're looking at about 30 years in the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm all right with that, bro. Hey, I'm old school too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. You know, I've seen this thing go from the rooter to the tutor, bro. I started out with that crate carrying technology. You know what I'm saying? So hey, man, just always represented the ATL, man. A-Town, stay down. Been doing this thing for a while, man. I just, you know what I'm saying? I've been honestly loving it for 30 years, bro. So that's what it is.
All right, true passion, true passion. Okay,
yes,
okay.
Sir.
That's what I'm talking about. Vinny, what's up? Still on, man? We gotta see if we can get you on here, man. You here? Vince.
I just asked him to unmute.
Hey, see me unmuted.
Hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
can
hear
hear you.
All right. What's up, everybody?
Yeah, you get
Hey,
that
Tony.
introduction from you, man. You know, let them know how long you've been doing this DJ thing, man, and just a little bit about yourself, man.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Vince. My DJ name go by Cousin Vinny, just like the movie. I'm out here in Los Angeles, California. I've been DJing for just like the last guy, man. I'm sorry I didn't get your name, but you're about close to 30 years or over 30 years, back since '92. That's when I really got into it. Got my turntables. You know, really never, you know, started messing around. But yeah, it's been just that long. You know, so I've done everything: radio, club, you know, corporate events, private events. And right now, you know, not DJ so much, but you know, passion's still there.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. So next up, we got DJ Greg, man. We gotta bring him on, man. Greg, how long you been DJing for, man? You know, what got you into? What's your passion for?
My passion has always been, I just was in love with the spinning of a record. So I kind of grew up in an environment of radio DJs and things like that. But I started myself, actually DJed my first party in grade school. Shouts out to Francis Willard, grade school. 4th grade, I DJed the 6th grade party. But other than that, yeah, I really started and I bought my first turntables in about 85, 84, 85.
Okay.
And then that was kind of like I think it was a Kai, I think at that time. And then turned around and got my Technic 1200s in about 87, 88. So, you know, I've been doing it ever since. I'm more of a collector of vinyl music. I am the originator of the All Vinyl Show. So, I mean, that's what I love, man. I love this DJing thing. It's taking me all around the world, and I'm appreciative of it.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. DJ Steele, you next up, man. Give me a little bit of bio. How long you been DJing? How long you been doing this, man?
Okay, yeah. Just like the previous DJs, they started in '93, but I'm gonna put a 10 on that and say '83. You know, so I've been in the game since '83, and when I first started, I didn't have the luxury of going out and buying turntables. So whatever I get my hands on, a tape cassette, I'll be a pause button DJ. You know, the vinyl records that came with the tape cassette, and they had the turntable on top. I had 2 of those, mixing it up. You know, 83 until I can get that first belt drive turntable was about a year or so later, and you know, and ever since then I've been in the game, and you know, just doing what I could do with it. You know.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yes.
Now, last but not least,
Shut
a
it
friend of
down.
mine I've been knowing since middle school, man, DJ Charlie Rock, that got a lot of skin in this industry as far as the hip hop, not just in the DJing, with the break dance. And I've been seeing this dude since day one when they first started breakdancing. He did an assembly one time at Favre Middle School to Buffalo Gals, popping, doing this thing, man. DJ Charlie Rock, man, introduce yourself. Tell them about yourself and DJing.
Yeah, I got introduced to the culture of hip hop in 1980, pretty much when the West Coast was introduced to the culture, because we were based on the funk era of music, you know, party music, funk era. Got pretty much introduced to DJing through just listening to mixtapes, you know, back in like 80, you know, 81, 82. And that first mix that I heard was a New York City Apple mix. That was like a real dope mix, man, that I was real curious about, you know, how all those blends and mixes and with music being put together. So my curiosity grew, you know, and then all of a sudden I started getting my hands on more mixtapes, you know, like especially out of New York, out of Philly, out of LA when K-Day was around. Then I first like started getting on the tables like around, I would say around 84.
Okay.
Around 84. So 83, you know, because I was doing a combination of both, because I was always a dancer, always dance, always pop, always lock. I was a b-boy, still a b-boy, you know, but was always introduced very early on, you know, through the culture of hip hop, just knowing about the 5% Nation, knowing about the Zulu Nation, learned it very early, very early.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. So as far as the 5 elements, you done been involved in at least 3 of them actively, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So now I got another question up, and we're gonna start off with the youngster in the crowd here. I think Mike, you probably the youngest in the crowd, man. So I don't know how much you're gonna have on this, even though you've been seeing the evolution of it, man. But give your input on the evolution of DJing and how the technology has went so far and where we at right now as far as DJing goes.
Oh man. First of all, bro, let me just say, I never been that DJ that hated, you know what I'm saying, when they went from vinyl to CDs and from CDs to, you know what I'm saying, the MP3s where we are right now. Like, I've always embraced the technology, man, because to be honest with you, I remember in Atlanta, bro, like we didn't have like a bunch of like record stores. Like I had like Peppermint and a couple of like, I remember going to like West End Mall. I think Peppermint was there, and I got Wax Effects on the east side on Northern, whatever. But we didn't have a lot of places to get the vinyl from, and the vinyl was very selective. So myself, when the CDs came out, it was way easier for me to get CDs than it was to get vinyl. And then the transition to the MP3, man, I'm talking about this where I got all my music on a freaking hard drive to where I used to carry crates, man. So I'll say the evolution for me has been nothing but a blessing, bro. I don't think too many of us really miss carrying crates, you know what I'm saying, into a venue, be it a party, somebody going up and down steps, bro. I don't miss it. So I've always embraced the evolution, man. I love where we are right now, man. And I'm never one to hate on the young cats. Like, oh man, back in my day, you know, you had to have records. You had, man, I don't care about none of that, bro. I care about, you know what I'm saying, involving the people into my, you know, into my mix. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get a vibe from the people while I do my thing. And if I can do that in the most the most efficient of ways, because right now MP3s are efficient versus, you know what I'm saying, the album. I love albums, bro. I got a couple of them right there behind me. I got a few more down in the garage, but you know, as I look at that, bro, that just fueled my passion. It's a beautiful thing. But as far as the evolution, man, hey, bro, I've always welcomed, bro. Man, I love it, bro. I take MP3, man, and just do amazing things, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm always down with the new technology, bro. I went from the CDJs, I went from the 1200 to the CDJs for the CDs, and then you know, now I'm rocking 12. I got the Rain 12 joints behind me right here. You know, it look like some real albums. It kind of give the feel of it or whatever, and that's what keep me, you know what I'm saying, just grounded and just really appreciating, you know what I'm saying, where I came from, you know, as a DJ. Then being from Atlanta, we really have a big DJ scene, bro. I gotta be honest, I'm for the most part self-taught. I loved it so much I had to just figure it out. I knew they had turntables, I knew they had a mixer. I went and bought turntables and a mixer. I had to figure it out. Wasn't no YouTube, so you gonna figure this thing out. I was always good with electronics and everything, so I love plugging up stuff and seeing how stuff works. So man, putting those two things together, man, just the electronics, bro, and then just the love of music. Man, look, I've never looked back, bro. But where we are today with these MP3s, man, you know, and being able to rock the crowd with these MP3s, bro, I'm all in, man. I love it, bro. I love it, man.
It sounds like you was the same, even though you didn't come in like at the early ages, like in the early 80s, you still like
right.
Early old school DJs had to make a way. You just made a way out of what you had. They had to do the same thing and make a way out of what they had. So next up, Cousin Vinny. The evolution of DJing, man. Give your viewpoint on it. What you think about it?
Yo, you guys hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, you know, I'd have to echo, you know, the same thing as far as like embracing the new technology. I was one of those DJs, you know, I was all pre-Serato. So everything I did was with crates and, you know, all of that, you know, lugging a lot of stuff. But then when, you know, with that new technology, like I didn't like it at first, but I learned to love it, you know, which is, man, it's the best thing ever, you know, just lugging your laptop around. But as far as the whole evolution, like, you know, I know a lot of old school DJs like myself, like at first, you know, I'm guilty of that. Used to hate on the young bucks and, you know, like with the technology or just like not going through the same thing we have. But I think the foundation, as long as you keep that same foundation, knowing how to rock a crowd, knowing how to read a crowd, and just, you know, do your thing as a DJ, your technical skills, all of that, you know, if you know all of that, then, you know, there's no need for it. We just got to embrace the technology. It is what it is, you know, so we keep moving forward. Who knows what's next?
That's right. Okay. DJ Greg, I'm going to ask you this question, but I'm going to put a little bit more on it since you're a little bit older. So we talk about the evolution of DJing and the technology that comes in with it. I want you to speak to the early days when the turntables and the needles weren't made for scratching and doing all that. Give us a little insight on that, how you made a way to make the mixing and DJing and scratching when the needles and the turntables weren't made for that.
Yeah, that was like trial and error as well. Just like the other guys said, you know, DJing, you had to create something. You had to make something work out of nothing. Jay Seal spoke about, you know, 2 turntable sets and putting it together and otherwise, or not having records, like the other guys said. You know, for me, I was more of the creator, and I wanted to change what was already existing, meaning I wanted to take, you know, that old school, not even hip hop at that point, that old school rock and roll or that old school dance music and make it into something else. And so I learned about, you know, scratching a record because I had heard it on a record, you know, on the early records, you know, the African Barbadas and things like that. So I heard the sound, I've never seen it. Mm-hmm. So I learned and created myself, you know, which came out to being, you know, putting a nickel on, you know, on the head and putting a dime penny just to hold that needle down a little bit longer, give you an opportunity to, you know, to scratch something or to put a cut in on something and, you know, kind of mix it in. And, you know, going back to the old realistic, Radio Shack realistic mixers, you know, you didn't get a lot. You didn't have the digital of being able to switch this and get cue points and all that. It was just pure, either you could do it or you couldn't. And it took a lot of practice and work and things like that. You know, evolution has changed us where technology takes over and it makes it a lot easier for, you know, other DJs and things like that. And I love it. But speaking of the early days, it was a needle on the, you know, on the head. And it was, matter of fact, I'll show one. You know, you had this here and put a little needle, a little pin right here, a little nickel, you know, 2 nickels, 2 dimes, whatever it is. Sometimes you had to put a little tape on it, you know what I mean?
Remember those days? Yes, I remember buying the needles.
Hold it down. I mean, that's where we came from, but I embrace where we are now, and I'm glad that, you know, technology has changed things for sure.
Okay. Good answer. DJ Steele, man, you one of the old school too, man. You started from the bottom with it, man. Give us some of the what you feel about the evolution of DJing and the equipment, and where it's at now versus where it was before.
Okay.
I see. You know, clicked off. Oh, there we are.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to break away for a minute.
So
Yeah, we can hear you.
So you hear me now? So the question.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear yourself. Sorry.
Yeah, the question was the evolution of DJing and having to start at the beginning when the equipment wasn't really made for scratching and mixing and all that. The evolution of it now. Give your input on or your thoughts on where we at right now versus where you had to come from.
Yeah, so I got to give it up for the East Coast because that's where I pretty much got my my drive from, my will to be a DJ. Because like the young brother said, he used to break dance and do all that. I was in all that too. And, that was like an avenue. You was in the bebop area. And, it included the dancers, the DJs, the rappers, all those combined. So, it becomes a part of you. So I broke off from the dancing and the break dancing to be a DJ. And I had to figure it out as a pioneer. How did they do the record like that? How they make it sound like that? So like I said, when I got my first turntable, I put the record on it, and the turntable, the whole turntable stopped. It wouldn't keep spinning. I was like, how they do it? I see the turntable spinning, and they just moving the record. So I had to figure it out. You buy a record, it comes with a sleeve. So that's that wax paper. You need that wax paper on top of that turntable to make it slide easy. So it's trial and error. You had to figure all that stuff out. Because I wouldn't. If I was in New York, I probably would have just seen somebody do it. But down here on Cali side, we didn't have them DJs to look up to. So immediately I got my turntables, got them spinning right. I'm in the record store every week, buying new records, and just to do a party, you have to have at least 6 crates, just to please everybody, 50, you talk about 6 times 50 pounds, that's you got to clear that on your back. That's hard on your back, you had to do that. So the evolution.
Man.
Right.
Ain't nothing like a snap, crackle, and pop of a record.
Charlie Rock, you got to give your input on this one, man. The evolution of DJing and technology and where it's at right now, where it started at. What's your input on it?
I know for the longest time when Serato was talked about, before a lot of people was up on it, my boy Cubert, he was telling me about it, and then a couple of dudes that was out of New York, that I knew, which I was real close with Rock Raider, with the Executioners. He was telling me about this new technology is about to come out, and he knew I was a straight vinyl head. Always been a vinyl head, always been a vinyl collector. All my sets that you saw, all those events I was doing, those are all on vinyl. I even had an all vinyl I called Soul Flexing. So it took a while for me to accept the fact that I needed to get on Serato, because I started traveling a lot more, especially when I went to Japan. So going to Japan or going anywhere, they'll weigh I didn't bring crates. I brought my cases. I had cases that had locks on them. So they'll weigh those cases, and by the time you get on the plane, you $300 already deep in the pocket before you get on the plane.
About that one,
because of the weight,
Yes.
Luckily, I got lucky on my way back to California from Japan, and didn't pay a dime to get it back, but I had to pay to get it there. But I made money in 3 folds out there. So when I came back, from Japan, we did a big event downtown San Diego that was like crazy packed. We was all on jet lag and this and that. And then the following night after that, after that event, it was raining hard that night. So guess what? I had my cases, it was raining hard, so my records were getting wet.
Mm.
And then me and my boy Rob Swift from Executioners talked the next day. We just chopping it up. He's like, man, you ain't on Serato yet? I was like, nah, man. He's like, and he broke it down to me. And he said, man, the type of DJ you got, the selections you got, it's gonna be even more in three folds, because now you ain't gotta worry about having the vinyl with you. Because I have a lot of rare stuff. I didn't keep a lot of the records that the promos I was getting from street promoters and stuff. I treated those as frisbees, because a lot of that stuff I wasn't even rocking anyways. I kept all the heat. So all my stuff was streamlined, nothing but heat. From beats to breaks to hip hop to neo soul to jazz to funk and soul, all broke down between 45s, and 12 inches and singles. So I made sure that it was intact. And then finally I got on Serato when I got convinced by Rob Swift to get on Serato. And then it was like, I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it. Because it really opened me up, because the knowledge that I had as far as getting music from other places, because I had connections overseas, from Europe to Japan to Italy to Belgium, you name it. I know a lot of funky soul, like independent groups that was sending me their MP3s, major heat, major. Okay. And that's what today that I use a lot of that material for the B-boy events, which those events still exist. It's not a pastime. It hasn't died or none of that. Those B-boy events, or we had last year in LA, we had, I think, over 80 crews that entered from all over the world.
Wow.
And it used to be more than that, because pre-pandemic, like a lot of those events were like, crews were like all over the place, man, was entering these battles.
Yeah.
And the purse is pretty big for those battles, because you got major sponsors. You got Monster Drink, that's a major sponsor for, at least for Freestyle Session. That's the event that I've been a part of, And so we used to do the Rocksteady Crew anniversary every year. I got in Rocksteady Crew in 1993. So during all that time, B-boy events were still going on, whether if it's the B-boy Summit that was in San Diego, or Freestyle Session came a little bit after B-boy Summit, but it was bigger. It ended up being a bigger event. The biggest B-boy event in the world is the Battle of the Year. That's in Germany.
So now you about to bring me to my neck. Not to cut you off. My bad. We're gonna roll on with some more questions, because the next question is kind of rolling at what you're in right now. And the next question right here, I'm gonna give it to Mike, is do you feel like DJs get enough respect and recognition in the hip hop side of things? Because people don't understand, DJs do it all, hip hop, R&B and all that. But do you think originating from hip hop, do you think that DJs get enough respect within the hip hop community?
Oh man. So as it pertains to that, bro, I feel like hip hop is the originator, in my opinion, of the DJ, because I listen to just DJs, like a bunch of old school DJs, man. I like to hear like those old sets. I feel like as it pertains to respect, I feel like the culture has been like really just ripped off and just stolen, bruh. And I think, like, when you think about the DJs who make the very most money, bruh, like, don't get me wrong, you got some DJs that make good, Jazzy Jeff, Scratch Out, they do okay. But like these EDM DJs, they making like millions of dollars, per year. So as it pertains to respect, no, bro. I feel like culturally, like we as Black people, culturally, bro, like I feel like everything like we do it starts off as ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's ghetto. They're tearing up records. That's ghetto. Until, you know what I'm saying? Until they can figure out a way to make money off of it, steal it, and take it overseas and use it. Now all of a sudden, it went from ghetto to just, now it's like this accepted, type of culture. You know what I'm saying? But hip hop wise, now, bro, I feel like the originators, dog, the old school, the classic, the real DJs, bro, that started all. Shout out to y'all guys who've been doing it way longer than me, man. Nothing but respect for you. But I feel like y'all laid you know what I'm saying? Y'all put in all the work. Y'all laid down all that groundwork. But nah, respect, nah, bro. I feel like culturally it will always be, you know, an amazing art. But respect wise, nah, bro. I feel like they've taken it and they've run it. They've kind of just ran with it, bro. And they've kind of turned it into something else. Like, I'm not a fan of EDM, bro, and that's just who I am. I don't like it. I mean, that's me. I don't like that crap. But I see the numbers that they do. I see the raves on social media where, you know, they going like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like you look at the crowd, bro. We're not represented. You know what I'm saying? Our culture's not represented in that. But bro, you see them with the CDJs, whatever they got, man, and with like 4 CDJs or whatever, you know, whatever they blending with. It's like, bro, that originated with us, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's our culture. We started that. So nah, respectfully, nah, bro, because I feel like that could have been like us. Like, I don't feel like we had those opportunities. I don't know for sure, but I don't feel like we had those opportunities because I don't feel like we're present, bro, when it comes to like those multi-million-dollar making DJs who spend that crazy EDM music, whatever, bro. So yeah, long story short, about culturally, nah, respect, nah, man, heck no. They like most things that we as black people create, bro. They took it, they stole it, they remixed it, and then they kind of make it, you know what I'm saying, to a certain extent their own. But nah, we never get the props, bro. I mean, we get the notoriety, you know what I'm saying? Those we know who they are, you know what I'm saying? We respect that, you know, they started that thing, but come on, man. I feel like those DJs should be like the rich DJs right now because they started an amazing, you know, culture, bro. So that is, bro. That's all I got.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good answer. Cousin
Yes,
Vinny,
sir.
man, give me your input, man. Respect and recognition within the hip hop community. The DJs get the proper respect and recognition that they think you deserve.
So what was the question again?
I said, within the hip hop community, even though DJs are more than just hip hop DJ, you know, we're doing it all. We're doing R&B, we do hip hop, we do neo soul. But as far as hip hop, do you think DJs nowadays are getting the respect and recognition within the hip hop community? What do you feel?
Nah, you know, honestly, I think we lost that. Like, you know, the DJ used to be the forefront. Like, if you look at the you know, the elements of hip hop, you know, as far as the b-boy and the DJ, graffiti, and the MC, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. Some of these cats who did this before, you know, started this before me, but it used to be the DJ and the MC was like his pump up guy, you know, was like, you know, the guy that used to come and pump up the crowd and stuff, but it was all the DJ. The DJ was like the main guy, you know, but for some, you know, I don't know, over the years, it's like that role just got reversed. And I think everybody looks at the DJ now as like, you're just the guy that plays music. But we do a lot, you know, as far as setting the tone and everything for whatever event, you know, whether it be club or whatever, you know. And I don't think the DJ gets that respect anymore. So we don't, especially in the hip hop community, you know, with all respect to the EDM world, like, you know, all they're doing is pushing buttons. We could do that all day, but you know, it's like, as far as like the craft and the skills and stuff, and you know, creating stuff, you know, it's changed, and I don't know where we lost that. You know, honestly, it's just we've taken the back burner, and it's pretty much sad to me.
Good answer. Really good answer. Greg, you up next, man. Respect and recognition within the hip hop community, man. Do you think the DJs is getting that, or think it's more deserved there?
I'm gonna say some of the things that other people said and then add my little twist. Quick answer, no. But we also have to look at the business side of things. A lot of DJs, older DJs or younger DJs as well, are not taking advantage of the business side. They have decided that it's okay to get $200 for an event. And to me, that's not okay. That's not okay. But when you get more DJs accepting that, then you water down your brand, you water down a community, you water down an art form into people thinking, you know, $200 and 2 drinks, and we good.
Now let me ask you this, though, not to cut you off, but think about this though. When you say that, that's true. But how about when you got these places like Vegas that are bringing in quote unquote celebrity DJs, the Snoop Dogs and the what's her name, Paris Hilton, you know, and people like that DJing that they don't know nothing about DJ personally, in my opinion. What do you think about that? Because there might be DJs that want that opportunity, but they're not getting that opportunity because celebrities are coming in and taking those opportunities.
I agree with that, but that also goes back to the business side of things. We have to put ourselves out there more. We have to try to contact those entities that book those events, because at the end of the day, those celebrities are only playing the music that another DJ has already created. They don't know how to put that music together. They don't know how to put that mix. Somebody put it together for them, you know.
Yes.
But we as DJs have to stand up and say, wait a minute, man. You know, if I'm gonna put this mix together for you, I damn sure better be a part of your show.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
And as far as hip hop is concerned, it's becoming, you know, watered down because people are looking at songs these days only last 2 minutes. So if you only got a 2-minute song, you know, how much can you get across in that 2 minutes? You know, because people's attention is shorter and otherwise, so it makes it difficult. But I mean, as a DJ, man, look at what we have to do for just the hip hop community, what we have to do. You know, we have to say, for instance, we're hosting an event. We have to bring our equipment, for example. Sometimes we bring $15,000, $20,000 worth of equipment, and somebody wants to pay us, you know, $300, $400. It doesn't add up.
Yeah.
You know? And even if we're going in and we plug and play into their equipment, you know, it still doesn't add up because we have watered it down. We got to get to the point to where we say enough is enough, and talk to other DJs, bring other DJs up and tell the other DJs as well, hey man, we're not accepting that, you know, whether it be a DJ union, whether it be, you know, some people are just not going to do it, but those DJs who are able, stand up. You know, not being accepted, man, because hip hop needs to grow. It needs to be easily, it could be better than EDM. Easily we could have, you know, 3-day shows and 4-day shows with 6 DJs, 8 DJs, and otherwise everybody do well.
Good answer.
I blame the DJs for that, because some DJs will undercut other DJs just to get a gig.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about, there's different levels to it. Like I said, you got your club DJs, you got the radio, then you got the, like I said, the big ones that do the casinos in Vegas and that type of thing. So, you know, it's different ways. You can probably cut it off on the local level, but when it starts getting to that big level where you got the Kid Capri's and the DJ Jazzy Jeffs and those type of people, which, you know, there's so many more that I could probably name, but we got to move on to still respect and recognition within the hip hop game. Do you think DJs got it or getting it?
Well, I think it goes just a little more deeper than just DJs, because hip hop was born in 79 when, or a little before 79 when Rapper's Delight came out, you know, and all the way back then, hip hop was not getting any recognition at all. It wasn't going to survive 2 years. You know, and look at it, it's still thriving and still growing today, you know. So, and because hip hop was always associated with violence, you know, and it came and it's from the streets. So the record companies took that and commercialized it, and even made DJs less respectable on hip hop side. Because now they don't commercialize it, they can tell you what to play, when to play it, and you know, and it's and then hip hop is surviving today, but it's surviving in the hood. So a hip hop DJ can go get much respect in the hood and much love because he's playing all the stuff they want to hear. But if you turn on a radio station, you know, it ain't what they want to hear. So you ain't gonna get no respect downtown or in La Jolla or wherever bougie place you at. You know, it's just that way. So on that level, that's where I feel that it came. And I mean, hip hop, the DJs get respect. It depends on where you at and who you playing for. you know.
Okay. Okay, good answer. Good answer. DJ Charlie Rock, I'm gonna put a little bit more on your question. The same thing with the respect and recognition. But one thing I want to ask you, being like I said, you've been so deep in the hip hop community, where did we get to the point where they took out the DJ as being a part of a rap group? Because back in the days, if you was a rapper, you had a DJ. Every rap group, the DJ was involved. Now we don't got DJs involved in these rap groups. So give me your input on that one.
I don't know what happened, because when it comes to like MCs freestyling now, they ain't nobody playing no beats behind them, and a lot of those cats ain't even rhyming. So what happened? It's not just that. Is what happened to them rhyming.
Yeah.
But I want to revert back to the whole DJ situation with, you know, the culture of hip hop.
Yeah.
I can speak openly about San Diego, and I've watched this for a very long time, and it's very sad. I see a lot of the OGs, even before me, not getting the opportunity to get into these big clubs that when they freshly open. None of them.
Yeah.
None of them. And for me, I was fortunate or blessed to even have somebody believe in what I do, because I never spun radio stuff. You know me. I didn't go outside that box and spun the stuff you hear on the radio. You know, I always kept the essence there, no matter what event I did. So you can tell by my flyers, like, what I was going to represent, you know, at my event. You know, it was free. You know, it was no cover. So it was free to walk in and free to walk out. But the thing that I really focused on was like, dang, how come this dude is not spinning? How come this dude is not spinning at this big spot? And you see all these other cats spinning at the big spot. You want to know why? Because they wasn't looking out for the brothers. I'm sorry. They didn't want nobody black up in these spots, because they thought that if they did do that, then it's going to bring the wrong crowd. So, but if they get somebody that's not black, that spin similar to what they're playing or whatever, then it's cool. He's the cool guy. He's the cool guy all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? But we're the ones that's going to represent it the best. Our selection is going to be the best. Our presentation is going to be the best. Our blends are going to be the best. Our funk is going to be the best. Our vibe is going to be the best.
Preach.
But they don't. But they don't care. They rather rather throw us to the side and say, "Yo, I'm gonna have this dude and these three dudes right here, and we know we're gonna get a couple of little like skaters, surfers, whatever up in here. We don't gotta worry about that drama with Bloods, Crips, or whatever coming through or whatever. But that's not even the case. That's not even the case. You get what I'm saying? So it's about these venues. Whenever a DJ is spinning, it's about the selection too of the music that you play as well. Like, I rarely out of all those years spinning, I can count probably on two hands how many fights I had in my venue every time I spun.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And you got to think about the different places. Like, I don't want to get too far off topic here, because if we talk about just San Diego and San Diego influence on hip hop and how our hip hop scene and our club scenes went, it went probably a whole lot different than a lot of other cities and a lot of other places, based off the politics of the streets and all kind of other stuff that made, you know, we always talked about how a couple of dudes would mess up a really good spot for us to go to and go party at, you know what I mean?
And we had
after dark, you know, somebody got killed in Spring Valley, all of a sudden they closed down. But like I said, I don't want to get too far off topic on that. We can get far off topic on that, but I want to move along with
we could have a part 2 for that.
Yeah,
we need some clubs up in here.
So the next question is going to be, I'm gonna give it to you for Mike. So one thing I always tell people, being a DJ is way more deep than a lot of people see and a lot of people understand, because as a DJ, you got to control the energy of the crowd and the energy of the party and keep it going. You got to know when to not drop that song, whatever that #1 song is right now that everybody like, you got to know when to drop that. So you got to be able to control the crowd. You got to be able to almost feel and read the crowd. So I know everybody has a technique on doing that. So Mike, give me your technique. How do you control the crowd? How do you do your thing as far as
how do you move the crowd?
Right. Exactly. So last night I had this event last night. I do mainly private, but 100% private events, man. I'm the wedding DJ. I'm the corporate event DJ. Like clubs, I tried that one time many moons ago. Honestly, the money wasn't right. So anyway, that's something else. But anyway, so when it comes to like moving the crowd, you got to know your crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like last night it was like a 50th anniversary. I'm sorry, 50th birthday party for a young lady, and like I kind of assumed that it was gonna be, you know, people obviously in that, you know, age group or whatever, and that's exactly what it was. Like I was probably one of the younger people there at 45. Anyway, man. So when it comes to like crowds, bro, and this comes with practice, and you like for real, you just literally you got to look out there, you got to see what you got, and then that's going to determine whether you're going to be playing music from, you know, the 70s, the 90s, the 2000s, or whatever the case may be, and that's exactly what I do. I pay attention to the people who, and a lot of times alcohol helps me look amazing. Let me just tell you, not me drinking, but them drinking. So the more alcohol they got on the scene, I'm gonna tell you, bro, you'll think I'm like DJ Scratch up there because I can't go wrong. You know what I'm saying? As long as they feeling good, I'm gonna look good. You know what I'm saying? So so as long as they got you know what I'm saying, as long as they got a vibe going out there, I'm paying attention to who actually up and who's dancing versus those ones who ain't quite there yet. So I'm gonna hit the ones that's on the floor already. I'm like, okay, I got them up. So let me hit them with the old 1-2 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's I mean that's basically all it is, bro. I mean it's about just seeing who actually came to the party and seeing who just want to sit down all night and just tap their toes up under the table. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, it's like it's a technique. Like I hit them with something, like I might hit them with a little, you know, Frankie Beverly, you know what I'm saying, before I let go and kind of, okay, they here. So I'm going to hit them with that, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to give them some of that, you know what I'm saying, some of that 80s funk, and I'm going to give them the move. And then when I see like a few more people on the floor, I see I got a few young folk, maybe a few older people. I'm like, okay, I think they're ready for like some wobble, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you got to go with what moves people. You know what I'm saying? Certain songs move people, and that's just what I know from my you know, weddings and doing, you know, my private events or whatever. I'm just gonna see who's ready to dance, who want to do something, versus the ones that are not ready. You know what I'm saying? And once I get everybody, you know what I'm saying, up on that flow, and then I feel like, you know, at that point, it's just a matter of me just going back to my roots and everything I learned, my experiences, you know what I'm saying? And I know exactly what to drop and when to drop it, you know what I'm saying? Certain songs, I will wait until a little bit later, you know what I'm saying? And then there's certain songs, like for me, big, like here in Atlanta, the big thing is like people love like line dance, you know what I'm saying? You got some Cupid shuffle stuff, you got some Jerusalem, you know what I'm talking about? And then I'm the type of DJ, I'm gonna get out there on the floor with you because I love to, you know, I'm not a dancer, don't get me wrong, but
That's DJ Greg.
Jerusalem, I'm like, I'm gonna tap it out with you, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do that thing with you, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I just read the energy and I'm gonna match that energy, and then the rest is history, bro. When I'm to my day, they praising me when I leave, bro. You know what I'm saying? So hey, bro, I just love to do it, bro, and it's just an amazing thing, man. You know what I'm saying? I just make it happen, bro.
Another good answer. Another good answer. Cousin Benny, man, what is your technique on moving the crowd and being able to control the party and be able to keep the party going nonstop all night?
As far as technique, you know what I tend to do, you know, just like Michael's saying, like I tend to look at the age group of the crowd and stuff.
Okay.
I start teasing the crowd, and once I start teasing, I see they're into some kind of whatever genre what is, you know. Then I like, okay, you know, I'm gonna start going into this lane, and I try to keep it there, you know. And you know, one thing I know is like that I've learned DJing is like once a hit, it's always a hit. You know, no matter what, it's just how you play it. It's how you place the songs. You know, so you know, you just follow that lane. Sometimes you don't want to go too deep into it, you know, but it's just like you're playing with the crowd. And once you see the reaction to it, and then I also study. You know, I study a lot. Like sometimes back then when I was DJing heavy, I would go out and I would just check out the club scenes and stuff like that. And I kind of listen to like, okay, what's hot, what's not, you know, like where can I, and then I try to work on my sets, try to place my music here and there. And, you know, that's what I do. I just, you know, tease a lot. And then.
Okay. Another really good answer, man. Good answer, man. I'm loving these answers, man. I wish I was a DJ. I'll be taking notes. DJ Greg, man, give us your input on how you do it, man. How you move the crowd, how you keep the party going, how do you read the energy from the crowd, man? What you do?
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I look at the crowd and I look at the people and say, you know, what do we have? You know what I mean? And like my guy before me says, you know, you throw out a song here, song there, just to see, you know, who you can get moving. If you can get, you know, the young people up, then you let the young people bring the older people up. If you get the old people up, the young people ain't gonna be outdone.
Yeah.
So them young people are coming. But if you get the older people up first, you know, the young people gonna join in. And that's when you bring in, you know, that line dance that gets them all together, and then you keep them there. Once you get them there, you have to keep, you know, keep your blends tight, you know, and keep that music going, man. You know.
But what's your motto, Greg? When you
My
DJ,
motto is hit after hit after hit.
and then what do you do on your show when people come on?
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Music by.
Yeah, by request. Music by request.
That's the key.
Mm.
To engage in the crowd, take music by request.
You know, I take some requests, and I decipher through them as well, because you know sometimes people will make a request and go sit down. You know what I mean? So you know, I kind of decipher through them and say, yeah, we're gonna go with that, or nah, you know, we're gonna get that later. You know, but build that anticipation on them and keep them interested in what you're doing. You know, and like my man say, I get on the floor with them. You know, I line dance a little this and that. I might, you know, just let them know, hey, I'm with you. We doing this together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Another good answer. Another good. DJ Steele, my man, American Post Legion 310, the one that have rocking with, man. How do you move the crowd, man? How do you control it? How do you read the energy from the crowd, man? How do you know when to drop that song, man?
For me, it's always like a pre-party space in a club or a venue or anything that you get at. And, you know, I like to set the tempo by just playing some stuff I know they ain't gonna dance to, but it's good listening, you know, and this way I'm like buttering them up, you know, and I also see reactions. At this time, I can look at reactions, see what people feeling and what they not feeling. And I know they ain't gonna dance to the songs I'm playing. And I'll even get a couple people come up to me and be like, can you play some dance music? And they'll just say it like that, dance music. So that's so broad that you can't just play no dance music. And, you know, I look at them like, okay, you know, and I also do like my man Greg there, you know, and Nikki, you know, you got to take some requests, you know, because you playing for them, you ain't playing for you. So, you know, that's right there. That's a start, you know. So, and then once you get them and you got them, it's like Greg says, hit after hit. I just slam the hits on them and keep them on the floor, and it's a wrap from there.
Okay. Another really good answer. Charlie Rock, you're going to have to get deep with us, man, because you done DJ crowds from all over. You done been out the country DJing, man. So I'm really curious to know, how do you read the crowd, and how do you control the crowd, and how do you keep them really going and just dancing and having a good time?
Well, the reading comes from the flyer.
Okay.
Because the flyers that I put out, I usually theme out all my nights. So say, I'll give you an example. I do a Dilla tribute, like when Dilla passed away, I did the first Dilla tribute in San Diego, and did it pretty much every year. So the imaging, the verbiage, like everything that was on the flyer, people are already like excited and ready to get busy because they know what to expect before they even hit the door. They're dancing in line because the fact that the night is being built up, they hear what's being played early on, and it's a build up, but they already know what they're coming for. You know, like every year I would do a native tongue tribute. So how big is native tongues? Huge. So people coming in there rocking tribe shirts, and you know, somebody made their own, you know, Moni Love shirt, and you know, it was dope. And I'm talking like right out the gate, there's 250 people to 300 out the gate. They already know what time it is. And then you'll get your randoms in there that's like, oh, what's this? This is what's going on. You know what I mean?
So how did the crowds overseas differ from the ones here in the States? Is it much difference, or is it pretty much the same?
Oh, it was hyper. A lot hype, a lot more hype.
Okay.
Overseas, yeah, a lot more hype because they embrace the culture of hip hop real strong. So they understand. and you drop whatever you're dropping, man, if the vibe is there and you got them, hands down. And you can go pretty much almost anywhere with it.
Wow. Okay.
You really can. But like I said, your blends, your cuts, your creativity, just everything's got to be on point.
Right. I got one question for all the DJs.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you take over now, Nick. I don't want to get the whole crowd. I know you probably
Oh
got-
no, you good. You good.
I'm gonna let you.
You good. Trust me, you good. But my question is, if they took all technology away and you guys only had to use vinyl, could y'all rock the crowd and mix with just vinyl? Who can do it?
Me all day.
You
Me all day.
still?
45s and 33s, rock boys and the young ladies.
Hey,
Hold on.
What makes
If
what
they gave me a Fisher Price turntable, 2 Fisher Price turntables, and said, do what you do with 2 Fisher Price turntables, I'm gonna get it in.
Right.
Hey,
Anya.
if 45 King can do it, I can do it.
Hold on.
I
What were
tell you
you
what.
gonna say? Hold on, let Tanya say something.
go
I
ahead.
think the viewers would like to also know too, as well, because there's a lot of DJs out there, right? What makes you guys different from any other DJ?
Mm.
That's
Oh,
wonderful.
Tony.
Hey, I can answer that.
Go ahead.
First, I'm gonna say, if I had to do all vinyl, I gotta be honest, I haven't collected in a while, so my music would be so dated. You know what I'm saying? I could probably take you up from like 80s up to about late 90s, and
Speak
after
your
that,
truth.
my
I
vinyl
love it.
collection, you know,
Love
but
it.
we'll rock though. We're gonna rock that 80s, 90s, late 90s. We're gonna rock it. We're gonna push it all the way out. Hey,
That's right.
but I would say, for me, as it pertains to that question that the young lady asked about what makes you different, like with me, what I noticed is, I'm gonna say, the aesthetics of my setup. So I rock with a DJ. I rock with a DJ company. So I got a basic setup, but like when we do like really extravagant weddings, we do everything from like the cold spark machine to the dance on the cloud, which is like the low line fog. We got video monitors for slideshows and also to advertise the business. We got freaking totems. We got, crazy light setups and all of that good stuff. So I would say the aesthetics of my setup and just my energy. I think that's what makes me different. You know what I'm saying? Because I was in fact, where I was last night, the DJ next door to me, it was like a little event center. The DJ next door to me, he had a little crossbar, like a little keyboard stand. He had that, and he had, I don't know what, a little controller. I ain't saying he didn't rock because I didn't hear him, but I'm just saying, aesthetically looking at this dude, bro, I would never hire him because he doesn't look, and like the speakers look like prehistoric. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe he rocked because I never judge a DJ by his equipment. I judge him by his ability to rock a crowd. He may have rocked the crowd. I don't know. I didn't see him, but that setup, it was a trash setup. And I think a lot of times when people are hiring these $150, $200 DJs, that's who they hiring. Guys like him, because maybe he doesn't care enough to invest in himself and and charge more because he got more equipment. Maybe you charge more because your stuff look better. You got the history, you got, just so much knowledge of music, and you do this. But yeah, I would say as far as this, what made me different, my aesthetics and my energy, man. That's all I got. That's it. That's all I got.
And Greg, let's go to you with that question.
I would say.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I would say my integrity and my passion.
I like that.
When it comes to the integrity, I make sure that I'm sticking to my guns. I don't go outside, like I said, and play radio stuff. You know what I mean? I have nothing against it. It's just not me. It's not. It's not what I've stood for since forever.
You've always been underground.
always been that, but always kept the motto. Always kept the motto of art of moving butts. So if I can move those butts, then I'm good. You know? And that's not just through the music. That's just, like I said, flyers really speak a lot, about what you're going to do and about your presentation.
Right.
You know, and I didn't play when it came to flyers, and when it came
Mhm.
to theming your nights. Like I had a night called Soul Flexing. I
Mhm.
had a night called the Soul Sauce. You know, people knew what they were coming for. It ain't just, you know, just highlighting the DJ and that his name and that's it.
Right. Right.
Sometimes you got to give the people that's actually looking for a venue. What if you got some people that's coming from out of town that want that vibe? You
You go
know,
with the butts.
and I was getting that a lot because people are like, oh man, that will come from out of town. Like, yeah, I'm from Philly or whatever, man. Dang, that's good. You guys got a spot like this out here, you know,
Right.
because it gives you a different choice. Like down the street, you'll have your radio stuff, and then up the street is me, you know,
Mhm.
and they come in, they're like, dang, I didn't know they had a spot like this in SD. That
Right.
play this
Right.
stuff.
Right.
I'm listening to Badu right now. I'm listening to Roy Ayers. I'm listening to Azimuth.
Right.
I'm listening
Right.
to Jill Scott. I'm like, what? What version of Jill Scott is that? You know,
Right.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Good
telling you,
answer.
I'm
That's
right
real.
now. I don't
Good
play. I
answer.
hit him in the head.
Good
Straight
answer.
up.
And that right there is something that takes us back to what we are and what we should be as DJs. Remember, as a DJ, we're supposed to have that rare music that they haven't heard, or that rare opportunity to hear something that they normally don't hear. As DJs, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be that ear. We're supposed to be that conscious person that can get them to the dance floor with something different. That's why when we make our mixes, we mix them a certain way, because we're trying to give them something that they won't get on the radio. You know, to
Mhm.
give them that hit that they didn't know was a hit until you played.
Right.
You know, whether it be a blending something, whether it be something that you're creating from something else. You know, I can go back to the 70s and bring you up to the 2000s. Same song, two different eras, but put them both together. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's why mixtapes were so important, was very vital. Like
Yeah.
the terminology of mixtapes that people are using nowadays, they need to stop it, because you know these artists are coming out and saying, I'm putting out a mixtape, and it ain't no DJ mixing, blending, scratching none of their joints.
None of that.
I can make a mixtape today.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's kind of
Not
like,
a DJ.
listen. That's kind of like what techno did when they're trying to take out house music. Okay,
Mhm.
so house music has a foundation too, you know.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
if you listen to house music, listen to the singers that's on the house music tracks. Guess
Right.
what they are? Guess what they are?
Mm.
They're all sisters that sang in churches. They're gospel singers, most of them.
Mm-hmm.
I would say 99.9% of them were gospel singers.
Mm.
That's why that one lady turned around and sued CNC Music Factory a long time ago, because
Oh
when
yeah.
they filmed that video, they put a thinner sister in the video. It
Mhm.
wasn't her because she was heavy set,
Yep.
but beautiful on the headset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And didn't even like give her any credit. So she's
Right.
like, bet I'm gonna hit y'all in the pocket. You
Got
guys
it.
gonna do me like that? I'm gonna hit you in the pocket. But
Sis,
Right,
we'll be
she's the
right.
only
on
one.
time.
She's the only one that stepped up to do that. When there was other house music artists out there that was putting stuff out there that was even highlighting their vocalists.
Right.
Sis,
So
what
a
we looking
lot of
like
this
on
stuff go
time?
pretty deep.
I'm sorry.
What we looking like on time?
We got about 15 minutes.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah. So we got some more questions. You got any more questions? Well, I got some more to hit with.
Yeah, I want to hear Jay Steele's answer to Tanya's question.
What was the question again?
Yeah.
We don't went all over with it. We
We
don't went all
got
over
off
with it.
topic.
What makes your skills from anybody else's? Any other DJ?
Well, for me, every DJ really has his own thing that really brought him into it and makes him stand out among all the rest. Me, it was for the music background that I had. All the way from junior high to high school, I was in band class, a bass player. I knew about tempos. I knew about, harmony, and you got to hear all that stuff when you DJing, because you can't just mix any two songs together. It just ain't gonna happen. You got to know, you got to almost hear the song before you mix it, you know. So that's, you know, that would make me stand out, because I can go from a 70 BPM to 100 and you wouldn't know the difference. You know, it's just gonna be that smooth, because I'm gonna do it. You know, they got the little blends for DJs now, the new starter DJs, where they'll do it for you and they'll build it up and blend it in for you and do all that, you know, all that stuff. And so, but you know, me, I'm all about old school. I do everything, like even the echo. You know, echo's cool. You know, you have to put it on repeat and echo it out. You know, so I'm all about the fundamental basics. I still use them because they work. You know, and for me, it's just the music background that I had.
Okay, cousin Vinny, man, we need you to answer that one, man. What makes you unique and different from all the other DJs out there, man?
I'm sorry, what was that again?
I said, what makes you unique and different from all the rest of the DJs out there?
Well, I think for me, my strength is like I could play any genre, you know, no matter what. Like, even though I don't know the music, I do my research. I could give you an hour. You know, you could give another DJ like me and another DJ 100 records, the same songs, and I bet you anything I could flip it better than him. You know, just by remixing or whatever. You know, I mean, it's just the confidence that I have. You know, and being able to read crowds.
Now, Vinny, you didn't hit him with the deep one, right? Being that you Polynesian, I said you didn't hit him with the deep answer. Being that you Polynesian and you Samoan, and you was able to go to that genre of music that a lot of people aren't familiar.
Oh yeah, that's why I could go all over the place, you know. Yeah. And you know, it's just I think in my culture, you know, we're sound like it's just, you know, just like Africa, like, you know, that's our language is music. You know, with the drums and everything. So it's like it's in our DNA. Yeah. You know, that we feel it. Facts. You know, so I think that's strong. You know, the strong strength that I have. You know, is because I feel it.
Yeah.
I got one more question for y'all. Speaking of vinyl, does anyone know the numbers etched in the records? What it means? On a vinyl record?
What you mean, like in the actual groove?
In the actual grooves of a record. Does anybody know what that number is?
Let me grab a record. Let me see what you're talking about. Hold on.
What are you talking about?
Talking about the BPM?
She's talking about
actual record.
She's talking about the ID number. She's talking about the. It's kind of considered a serial number, but it's not.
Yes. Yeah, I see this.
Yes. But if you get a promo, that number is going to be different than the one that's going to be released to the record stores.
Yes.
Right.
And it's worth, matter of fact, the promo is worth more money than the one in the record store, by the way.
Yeah.
Because
that makes sense. Yeah. So I got Run DMC, Peter Piper, and I got my Adidas on the other side. I do see a series of numbers.
No, she said a record. She said a real.
No,
one.
you gotta get
not a real, not a bootleg. That's a bootleg.
Not a bootleg. You need a real record.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Greg. What does it mean?
It's like having a Gucci belt with Louis Vuitton on the other side.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
What the number represents is.
No, but
hold on. Let Greg say it.
Hit me.
Hold on.
Educate me. What you got?
That number represents the record company that printed it, and also the number of prints.
Yep.
So if you look at a record and it says 3008, that's 3008 print of that particular record from Profile Records or otherwise.
And the promo is going to be, and the promo is going to be different. It's not going to be a part of that series.
Yes, it's not going to be a part of that.
Mm-mm.
And I think that is part of, in my opinion, I think a lot of times where artists didn't get their much due from a record, because the record companies would print so many, and sometimes they would double print, and the artists think, okay, I sold 300,000 copies, but really they sold 600,000 because the record company printed, you know, a few
doubles.
They didn't know about.
Right.
That's how they keep track of the sales.
Yes.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
Supposedly.
Hey, Charlie Rock. I gotta
Yeah.
make a connection right quick, man. My boy, cousin Vinny, he down with the Booyah. The Cobra is his people.
I
And all
know,
that too.
I know Cobra.
I know you know Cobra. That's what I said. But
Yeah.
cousin Vinny, that's his people. That's his family.
Oh, okay. What's up?
That's why I'm making the connection.
That's what's up.
That's what's happening.
Out there in Wilmington, huh? Carson area, right? Are you out there in Carson, Wilmington?
Carson, dog.
Okay.
But I knew the L brothers down there, Cutfather in there, prime time when they were down in San Diego.
Cutfather?
Yeah.
Oh man. Then I would know you then probably.
Probably. That's
Why would I?
peoples,
Well,
you know.
hold on. Yeah.
One teach one.
Small world, man. Small world.
I'm pretty sure y'all know each other.
Look.
Do you know AJ Tutelli?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my boy too, man. That's my oos right
Oh,
there
right
too.
on.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna give y'all each other's number.
Yeah.
Hey, I was in the youth football world too, man, for a long time.
Oh, right on. Right on.
Yep.
I'm gonna give
Yep.
y'all each other's number. We going off topic. We're trying to be knowing each other and be like, oh, look, your family close up. This ain't no
We
barbecue
gonna
right
say that for the
now.
late night. For the late night podcast.
Hey,
Let
look,
me
man,
add barbecue.
we got to get everybody to get the information, man. So, you know, when people see that we're putting this on YouTube, man. So if anybody want to connect and, you know, hire you for a DJ or hey, you do some work with her, man, y'all give all y'all information.
Yes. So what we're gonna start. Go ahead, Tanya. What were we gonna say?
That was gonna be my next question. If viewers want to know where they can find you all, how will they get in contact with you all? That's part one of the questions. The second question is, if you had, what will be your most memorable song that you will leave with for a party or your people or?
Yeah.
Good question.
Good question. Ooh. I hear
Mike,
babies crying.
let you have it first.
Hey, I used to do this thing, bro, at the end of my parties, bro. Like I said, I always do, you know, corporate events, weddings, you know, some private events. I don't do the clubs. I bring out my own equipment, so I do the private events. So if I had to say the most memorable song, man, this is one song. I used to close out. I don't know why I stopped doing it. I might have to start back. I used to close every gig with what's your boy name? Lenny Williams. I cried. Girl, you know I love, and when I tell you, I have everybody going down when I say, hey, bro, it'll be a movement at the end of the night, and after that, hey, I'm out, peace, y'all be safe, get home. And when I say, hey, bro, I would get the craziest, like it was so much love with that song, like, because everybody at that point, everybody had all they could drink. They did all the dancing they can do.
They all think they can sing it. That's the problem. They all think they can sing it.
And that's another thing, right? Exactly. So it's like a karaoke moment without the microphone. Everybody,
Right.
girl, you know I love you. You know what I'm saying? That would be my song, bro. That would be my song right there, bro. That's the most memorable song right there, bro. And because of the effect that it had on the crowd, I don't care how old it was, like, I don't care if they were 70 or they was 30. Like, everybody
know
knew
that song. Everybody knew the song.
Everybody knew that song. But that was my joint. I used to close out with it. I might have to start back, man. Y'all done brought that back in my mind. Anyway, that's what it is.
Do it.
There you go. There you go. Cousin Vinny, man, what's yours, man? What's your song, man? What's your memorable song to close it out? You hear me?
Man, well, yeah, I can hear you. You know, a lot of times when I end a night, you know, whatever event, I usually end it like with slow jams and stuff.
Yeah.
Not no particular song.
They're still here.
But like no particular song. But when I just started playing it and I would start mixing it to other slow songs, the crowd stayed. You know, and the only reason why you're doing that is to kind of kick everybody out of the club.
Yep.
But like everybody just hung out, and it was like, damn, you know. So I, you know, had no choice but to shut everything down. But from that, you know, I think a memorial part for me was COVID. Like when everybody stayed home, like all the DJs was jumping on, like doing lives on Facebook, Instagram, and then Twitch came along. You know, I just wanted to try to, you know, check it out. And I started this little slow jam Sunday night thing.
Yeah, I remember.
And it was just me messing around, you know, but man, I had so many followers and people were just like, you know, they were tuned in, they were digging it, and I was just digging in the crates, whatever came to mind, I just played. So that was kind of like it was fun for me, and I'll never forget that. But it's all good.
I heard that. Man. I heard
Yes,
that.
sir.
DJ Greg, what is it? What is it for you, man? What is it?
Man, I would say I always like, I'm an R&B head, R&B music is just like, I'm a head because everything kind of came from that R&B era, that disco era, R&B era. But I like to throw something fun in, at the end of the night, throw in something like a percolator or something like that, just to get people's energy up after they did all they can do, and then just watch, play something like that, kind of like a teaser.
You want to get that last drink in there, huh? Get him thirsty.
Right. Squeeze it on in. One more.
You throw on that,
I'm thirsty now.
Yeah, you throw on that percolator, you just sit back and do this.
Hold up, girl. Hold up.
Yeah,
He's
exactly. I'm telling you, man, you bring something out of people that you didn't think they had in them. They look around, it's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. And you see them and they be like, they had their shoes off. They like, yeah, we're going to get this last one. So I like to throw a curveball in. You know what I mean?
Look, y'all, Greg does an all vinyl show, as he said earlier. And there's been many shows that he's done, and I'll be all hype at the end. And then he's like, all right, babe, I'm going to bed. And I'm like, wait, I'm super hype. Like, you just got me super hype. What you mean?
Yeah.
Play me some slow jams or something. He gets me super hype. I'm sorry.
CMOS in my records.
Right.
DJ Steele, what's your answer?
Well, mine's come from a most memorable experience when I got invited over to this one brother's house. I guess he had it set up. He came from out of town. He was trying to start here in Dago. I didn't mean to discourage the brother, but when I went in there and got on his stuff, it caught him by surprise, because I started backspinning, scratching, doing all the stuff that he couldn't do yet. And I was only there 5 minutes, and he opened the door and said, "You gotta go." So, and the song I was playing was "It's Time to Go" by Too Short. So, so I mixed that. So that song I carry with me in that every night at the Legion. It's time to go. It's time to go. That's how I got it. I just do it like that.
Man, come on. I heard that. Man, what is it?
So I dedicated the last 30 minutes of the night, to straight up neo soul, and at the end is pretty much pretty much Jill Scott Talk to Me will be my last joint, and I rock doubles. I rock doubles with that, just to get everybody feeling, and everybody goes to the dance floor. I'm telling you right now that everybody goes to the dance floor. The lights are coming on. And I just and everybody's just throwing their hands up like this.
Right.
You know how she break it down when she
Yeah.
That's the one.
She'll come through.
That's the one.
Yes, sir.
Come through every time.
So I got one more question for you. Listen, sister got another one, but I got one more question for all 5 of y'all. Top 3 DJs ever.
Ooh.
Mike, starting off with you.
Locally or worldwide?
Yeah.
Worldwide.
We're gonna go worldwide. You going last time. We gonna start off with Mike. Mike, what you got?
All right, so I'm gonna say top 3 Grandmaster Flash, because when I started, he was like my influenced me a lot, dog. Like I never seen. I know, granted, he ain't the best turntable, whatever, but bro, Flash for sure. And I gotta give it up to my number 2 would be I'm a Scratch fan, DJ Scratch. And then my all-time, as far as like creativity, scratching, originality, I'm going DJ Jazzy Jeff. My top 3.
I'm gonna go ahead and add on top 3 all-time worldwide and the top 3 local as well. So I'm gonna need 2 different answers. So what would be your
locally?
Look at you.
Okay. Okay, look here.
I'm sorry. That wasn't my question.
Okay, look.
6 minutes.
Okay, real
6
quick.
minutes.
So I'm gonna go with DJ Greg Street right here in the ATL, of course. I'm gonna go with my man DJ Kizzy Rock. That's part of that yeet movement back in the early 90s, you know what I'm saying? And lastly, I'm gonna say I'm gonna have to go with sheesh. Locally, wow. I'm gonna have to say DJ come back to me, man. I can't think of anybody else right now, man.
Cousin Vinny.
Gotta think about that one, man.
Speak
Yeah, I got two. You gotta come back to me. I got the last one in a second. I got you.
Can you hear me?
Cousin Vinny, top three
Yeah,
all
yeah.
time and top three locally.
Top three, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Top three, I'd have to say all around, Jazzy Jeff. You know, got to give it up to him. Personally, Z Trip, one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
And I got to give the
That's
man
my
his
brother
credit,
right there.
Kool Herc. Kool Herc,
Oh,
you know,
yes,
he's the one
sir.
that founded all of this. You know, I got to
Yes,
give him his flowers.
Yep.
And then as far as
Indeed.
locally, you know, like with crews, like the Beat Junkies,
Hell
you know, those
yeah.
are my homies.
Hell
You
yeah.
know, I got to give it up to them. Down in San Diego, they got this one cat, Dennis Blaze. Like, he's been making some noise. I like him. And I think that's about it.
Okay.
Good one.
Hit me with
I
that.
got that last one. But go ahead.
Give it up, Mike. What's the last one?
Hey, real quick, man. And I had to say this. Hey, it's a young brother, bro. I think he's about 25 years old. Follow him. Find him on Instagram. His name is DJ Popo. And I'm gonna tell you, he was on the verses, on a couple of the verses, and he done won a couple of times. I think he's gonna be on verses again. But he a local cat right here in my city. He lives in McDonough. DJ Popo, man. I'm telling you, check him out. I'm telling you, the young brother. Look,
Okay.
I compared
DJ
him.
Popo.
I compared this Popo, P-O-P-O. I compared this dude to a Jazzy Jeff. My buddy be like, man, I don't know about that. I'm like, bruh, check out Popo, his originality.
Look,
I'm telling you,
I'm gonna
he
look up
reminds
DJ
me of young
Popo.
Jazzy Jeff. DJ Popo, find him on Instagram. And I'm telling you, he'd have been this dude is the future. You hear me? Young brother, about 25, 26. I promise you, he's the future. Y'all follow that man, DJ Popo, man. He on Instagram.
We're gonna
Is
check
it
him out.
DJ
local guy.
Popo 01?
That sounds about right. Yeah, like a big brother. He got like a little puffy hair, like a one little puff ball. I don't know what to call it. That's him. Listen to me. Hey, look at his videos on Instagram. The dude is ignorant. But go ahead.
DJ Greg, top three all time, top three local.
Well, I really can't say local because I mean I live in San Diego now,
But
but
where
I'm
you grew up at? Yeah.
city. So you know, I guess I can name one in San Diego and one in Kansas City. How about that? Kansas City, I would say he's not living right now.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace for sure, man. Rest in peace. But hell of a DJ. I mean, hell of a DJ. And I say that because as far as B-Boy is concerned, he was it, man. He was it. He taught me a lot of things, you know, 86, 85, 86. He taught me a lot of things. He's actually from New York. But he was killing it, man. And, you know, I kind of learned some things from him. Actually, he was like a mentor, you know, in a sense, but I passed him and I'm thankful for that. But K-Rock, his name was K-Rock, Cutmaster K, man. Hell of a DJ. Worldwide, I would say, I've always been a fan of Jazzy. I've always been a fan of DJ Scratch.
Yes, woo.
DJ Scratch has definitely done his part for hip hop. You know, definitely done his part. Not just
PMD, baby.
EPMD, not just EPMD, but him mentoring other DJs. He actually was a mentor and teacher with Jam Master Jay. You know, and people didn't know behind the scenes, he helping create what Jam Master Jay was. So I give him his credit. And then I'll give, you know, a Scratch Master, out of Canada. I'll give him his credit too. Scratch Master.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, that dude's hard.
Salute,
yeah.
bro. Salute.
Scratch
For
Bastard.
sure. And locally, San Diego, I would say, I mean, I'm familiar with a lot of guys in San Diego. But it just depends on what we're looking at. I mean, There's some young guys making noise, and there's some older guys who made some noise in the past. So I really can't say. I really can't say the same.
Okay. Well, you gave us your top 3 worldwide all time, so that's good enough right there. That's good enough right there. DJ Steele, what's your top 3 all time and top 3 local?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Grandmaster Flash because he was the era starter, and then Jazzy Jeff took it to a whole new level, and then I'll bring it back here on the West Coast with Battle Cat because all 3 of them I learned some scratch techniques from them. And, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So and locally, when I came back up in the day, it was DJ Swan, Cool T. Cool T is still active right now. Swan, he dropped off. And who else locally? Guess it was this one DJ from New York called Xavier. Yeah, it was pretty, they kept Dago going for a long time, doing spots. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Charlie Rock, the worldwide legend. Give us your top 3, bro. I know you're gonna come with some real underground, off the wall stuff, man.
People we ain't never heard of.
Yeah, you gotta try to hit me with the 3, and I need more than 3. No, I'm just Look, but for locally for San Diego, my number 1, and it's always been my number 1 since childhood, was Geechee Dan.
Geechee Dan, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
The show to him.
I really looked up to that dude, man. Like, real. I mean, all the way until like I got married. He DJ'd my wedding.
Oh wow, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah,
and I had an opportunity to tell him how much he inspired me.
For those that don't know, Geechee Dan just passed away. Not even 10 days. Was it 10 days? It was about 2 weeks ago, right?
2 weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago.
Passed away 2 weeks ago. Rest in peace.
And he's Cool T's cousin, correct?
Yes.
That's right.
So Cool T will be my second, and then King Arthur.
Oh yeah.
King Arthur will be my third. And the reason why those two they really embraced me when I was still dancing a lot or whatever. But Cool T is the one that actually broke me out into a club atmosphere, being on the tables. So Cool T is the one that broke that mold, as far as me DJing in front of a crowd in a club scene up at Distillery.
Okay.
And Club Tropics.
Worldwide.
I spun as Tropics once, but I was doing so many other things like after that, so I didn't really have much time to spend at those. But that Distillery spot was the first, when I actually boom.
So what would be your all time worldwide DJs?
My number 1 will be Red Alert.
Okay.
That's what's happening.
Definitely, he inspired me a lot. Red Alert will be like my number 1. My number 2 will be Jazzy Jeff. My number 3, I would say Chuck Chill Out.
Okay.
I would say Chuck Chill Out.
Okay.
A lot of mixtapes.
But if it was a 5, definitely Herc would be in there.
You gonna add to the list. He can't stop at 3.
Hey, I'm not a DJ, but my top 3 got to be Jam Master Jay, rest in peace, Grandmaster D from Houdini, and Jazzy Jeff. That's my top 3.
I like that.
Stop by my people.
I like that.
Hey, and if I was to say a crew like out of the West Coast, I say Beat Junkies, hands down.
Beat Junkies, okay.
I say Beat Junkies, hands down.
Okay. Well, I don't have no more
East
for
Coast
you.
would be X-Men.
I don't have no more for you guys. I want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart for y'all time to take the time out your day to come on this podcast and come speak with us, give us some of this history, give us some lessons. Like I said, we're gonna post this up on YouTube. We'll probably send the video to y'all and everything if y'all want to, send it to your friends or promote it or whatever. But I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart, man, for your time to take out the time.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. That's what's up, man. That's what's happening.
We all know DJ.
Appreciate y'all having me, man.
It's not
Hey,
easy.
I got something for y'all. Once the show goes off, I got something for y'all.
Oh, you gonna send some gift cards?
I got something for y'all.
Greg, N-I-C-E. Hey, man,
Right,
one time
right.
for premiere, man. One time for premiere.
One love, y'all. Until next time, L.U.S.T, let us speak truth. Vibe with us, subscribe on YouTube. Until next time. Bye.
Peace.
Y'all be easy, man.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate y'all again, man. Appreciate y'all.